know, we are part of Career Guidance Council. Career Guidance Council is an NGO. We work for an NGO, and it is a non-profit organization. Along with me, there are so many working professionals from IT and non-IT background. So this session is one of the sessions that we conduct on every weekend, probably on Sunday. So we have premises, we work on each Sunday, and we work towards uplifting, the job seekers usually. The fresh graduates who are looking out for jobs. So we help them in getting the right job, probably with, how to prepare the resume, how to present yourself in an interview, what are the do's and don'ts in an interview, okay? And along with that, how communication skills helps you out. And there are various fields that we belong to. Unlike me, like I'm from HR background and from business data, I work as a business data analyst. So I come up with the relevant topics that helps the candidates to understand and know the industry. Similarly, there are so many professionals coming out from finance background, from marketing, and from like accounts and specific core IT like programming. The other one you saw the last Sunday. So there are various professionals who come up every weekend with burning topics to make the freshers understand what is the industry is looking out for, and help the candidates in getting the appropriate job. So I welcome you all on this session today, and hope you will get an idea like what Oracle database does and how you can be part of it. So let's proceed. So as I told you, our main objective is to uplift the society. Okay, there are so many college and schools that we go and we conduct various program for them, which helps the students in understanding the market, and which helps the students in preparing for their exams as well. So let me introduce you to Oracle SQL. See, in this agenda, we will be seeing like what SQL stands for and what are the capabilities of SQL, what SQL stands for. Okay, and there are few languages that are associated with SQL, be it like data retrieval language or data query language, or instead we say select statements. Okay, we'll start with very basic query. If you're new to database, I trust me, you will enjoy this session. Okay. How data control language works. This is part of database admin. We will see what are the roles and responsibilities of a developer and what are the roles and responsibilities of a database admin and all that. Okay, and we will see each and every language, and I'll try to give you at least one example so that you will get a clear idea like what Oracle database does. Okay. Now there are few things that you need to consider before going to database. Okay, first thing is whenever you talk about database, there are two things that comes in your mind. Whether like who is responsible for this database, now in layman's language, whenever a company needs a database, okay, so they actually purchase it from the reputed organization to whom it belongs. Now if I talk about Oracle database, Oracle is the name of corporation, Oracle Corporation, and they have like so many products, and database is one of the products. Similarly, Microsoft is a company and they have their own database. Similarly, IBM and other companies. So now when they decide like to go with which database, they interact with the company, and then they ask for a demonstration, and then they come, the functional team or the core team from the company, they come and they give like what their database can do for the company. Okay, And then once they decide that, okay, they want to go with, for example, Oracle database. So now they purchase the database, okay, considering the various hardware and software requirements and the number of users and all that. So they purchase the database, okay. Now the responsibility of the company, for example, Oracle in particular, the responsibility of the company is like they give you the database if you have a database administrator who can actually from the scratch he can install the database. Okay, installing the database. Once you get the database, considering the hardware requirements, for example, I'm talking about ABC company. Okay, if they are purchasing database from Oracle, so Oracle will ask them, do you need us to install or you have a database admin? So in case the company ABC, they tell that, okay, better you install. So they will come and they will set up very nicely and then they will go. Okay. Now there are two things. Either you will have to have your own database administrator working with your company ABC, or you will ask Oracle to give you support for a specific period of time and then you pay for them. Now once they install, if you take help from them, it would be like they might charge more, maybe in dollars, and so it's better the company ABC, they can actually have their own database administrator for taking care of their database. Now right from the installation, okay, now the database is installed. First thing is which is the current version or the version that market is using. They will go with that database. Oracle started way back uh, in 70s or 80s, and then they had their own version. Now the latest version is like they're going with 12C or 19C and all that. Okay. Now still in market, there are many companies who are using Oracle 11G R2 is the version. So they will install based on that. Okay. Now, as I told you, now database administrator will be the key person to look after your database. Okay. Okay, so database administrator will be the key person who actually looks into the all aspects of database. What are the daily activities of database administrator? See, if you know this, then you will understand what a developer can do. Okay, so just give me 5 minutes. I will quickly wrap up and take you to the next slide. So installing the database, and whenever you need to upgrade the database to the next version or to the latest version, it is the responsibility of the database admin or the database administrators team. Okay, usually you will have one person or you can have multiple database admins also for respective tasks. So they will look into the upgradation. That means moving to from one version to the next higher version. Okay, without letting the customers affect, they'll take some downtime and all that, and maybe a window will be provided for them for like a couple of hours or as per their request, and then they'll go for migration or upgradation. Sorry, upgradation. Moving from one version to other version. Migration, like moving from one database to other database, is called migration. For example, if your ABC company earlier has, say, Microsoft Access as the database, now they're going to Oracle SQL. Now migrating from one database to another database, this will be the responsibility of database admin, who will have to look in to the various aspects. First thing is data should be copied from the legacy system, we say from the previous system to the latest system. Okay, data should be copied. There should not be any lapse in the data. So all that they'll consider and they'll migrate from one database to other database. The other activities of database administrator would be like taking, scheduled backups. Okay, in case of any, um, untoward situation, they should have a backup which actually should, uh, give the company that whenever you need, you have a backup. In case of untoward situation or database crash, there should be backup available for like the latest period. Okay, so they will look into the backups, scheduled backups. Also recovery in case of database crashes. So database admin will be responsible to recover the database. Okay. Apart from that, memory management or disk management, they will allocate specific memory to specific users and all that. Once that gets or once that is about to fill, so they will increase the size and they'll manage the memory. Okay, so that is also one of the aspect of a database admin. User management, like how many users are there for each department, for each they'll have to have a list of users along with the privileges that the users should have. Okay, if you are from HR department, so what tables or what access you need, so that will be taken care of your team lead or your manager, and then that would be informed to the database admin or the IT team. So they will look into it and they will provide you with the specific access. Okay. The user management is one of the core activities of database admins. It happens very usually whenever a new user comes or whenever a user needs more privileges from time to time. So there are other activities as well. So in short, the responsibilities of a database admin involves installation, upgradation, migration, taking backups, and recovering the database, disk management, user management, and there are so many other activities. One of the hot activities that people are looking for is performance tuning. Okay, if a lot of users are using the database, how you can ensure that the retrieval of the data or customers are able to see the data very quickly. Performance tuning is the core aspect that people are looking out for database admins. Okay. If I talk about roles of an SQL developer, if I talk about the roles of an SQL developer, okay, what SQL stands for and all that we will see. Just understand what a person who is working as SQL developer is expected to do. Okay, he is responsible to understand the business needs. When I say business needs, if you are working for a company, okay, for example, I said ABC is a company. Now, if they are into say banking system, okay, if they are into banking system, so the roles of SQL developer pertaining to his company would be to interact with the various departments, department heads, okay, and understand what they want out of the data, what they want out of the data. For example, there are so many departments. One department is looking out for daily reports of say the updated accounts. Okay, they want to see the total amount that the company has. Okay, total amount that the company has based upon various segregation of accounts, like how many they have in savings, how many they have in current account, how many amount they have pertaining to some fixed assets and all that. Okay, so you need to understand the requirement from each business head. You'll have to interact with the various like marketing department or service quality or like any other department and insurance department. You need to understand their requirement, what they want out of the data. Okay, so the roles of a SQL developer involve understanding business needs. So he or she should be involved with the business heads, okay, from each department and understand their requirement and help them with the specific report, retrieving the data from the database. Okay, now retrieving data is the main aspect of an SQL developer. Retrieving is getting data out of the database. When I say retrieving data, that means data is already there in the database. Now retrieving that data and helping with helping the various departments. How you can retrieve the data, we will see in our today's session. Okay, as an SQL developer, how we can retrieve the data, we will see. How you can prepare reports. Okay, see, as I told you, when you interact with the business head, they need a report, maybe daily report or weekly report or monthly report or quarterly or annually. They need some reports, end of week, end of month. Okay, before the new month begins, they need a report, like what has happened. If I'm talking about a company which involves the banking sector, they need to know, okay, how much was the opening like amount in the company for that particular month, for the month of say April, and before month April ends, like after 30th April or 31st April, what is the amount they have now. Now they'll analyze with the various aspects, okay, where the amount is coming from, where the amount is going. So there will be many decisions taken up based upon the reports. Okay, so it is a responsibility of an SQL developer to understand the data. Okay, preparing reports and analyzing the data. Okay. Data analysis is also one of the aspects of a good SQL developer. Okay, so working on ad hoc reports. Ad hoc means like whenever you get a quick request from some any specific department. For example, they want to know like how many accounts were opened during so and so period. Okay, okay. So uh, whenever we get any ad hoc request, okay, like how many accounts were opened during so and so period, for example, like starting from 1st January end of March 31st. So you'll have to work with the data, go and do the drilling, and then come out with the data and help them. Okay, there might be a lot of data in the database, but what company needs, what business needs, you'll have to help them with that aspect. Okay, so retrieving data, preparing report, analyzing the data. Okay, and we're working on ad hoc requests. These are the few activities that SQL developer does. Along with that, if you are working with any front-end application team, as I told you, ad hoc are like frequent requests that you get. Okay, you don't know what you're going to get a request today. Today you got a request that you need to know how many accounts were open during 1st January until 31st March. Okay, this was the ad hoc request. Now a new request is coming. Okay, who are the account holders who have savings saved more than 50,000 during these accounts? This is one ad hoc request that came. Ad hoc are like instant request that you can get. Okay, you cannot expect what you're getting. Sometimes the ad hoc requests are also usual, like okay, during starting of the month they come up with few requests, and like during season they come up with few usual requests. So you can understand that. Okay, the other aspect of interacting with application of a SQL developer is interacting with the application developer. Application developer, if your company has some software team for working on specific applications. Now here I'm talking about Oracle as a database. So if your company uses Oracle as a database, maybe they have an application team working on Oracle e-business suite. Okay, Oracle e-business suite. Okay, Oracle has one ERP. This is an ERP. So Oracle, as I told you, it's a name for corporation. So they actually have a lot of products. So they're one of the main product is Oracle ERP. That is the competitor for Oracle. Sorry, that is the competitor for SAP. So they have Oracle e-business suite with this contains so many modules. Okay, if I talk about like finance, HR, supply chain management, and like so many modules. Okay, now each module has different forms or reports. Okay, now each forms will have some or the other tables. We'll see in detail what tables are. So each form involves some of the other tables which you will see. For example, if you are going to purchase any grocery, okay, the moment you reach out to the billing, they'll see each and every item, they scan, and they give a report. They give a report, right? These are the items that you purchase, and these are the cost of the item, maybe some discounts is applied, and then you see a final bill in your hand. So these are the report. But where they see the data, the moment they scan your code, they'll see a form. They'll see a form wherein they pipeline all the items that you purchase. So they will query, or they will see the data based on the barcode, and they'll have a form in front of them. Okay, now forms and reports is one of the other tools that Oracle has. We say Oracle, the name got famous, D2K, Developer 2000. It contains Oracle Forms Builder and Oracle Reports Builder. So these are the other tools that Oracle has. Now, when I say form, when I say reports, you'll have to write some queries, and you'll have to get the things done, whether for a form or reports. Now, as I told you, when you are interacting with application developers who are into like Oracle e-business suite, or who are developing like Oracle forms or Oracle reports, if they come to you like, hey, I need, when I click the button, there's a button in my form. When I click the button, this should happen. For example, if I click the button, I should get the annual salary of an employee. When I click the button, I should know the total number of employees from each department. When I click the button, I should know the total salaries in terms of expense. We are giving to the employees. Okay. On a button click, what should happen? On a button search, what should happen? So when they ask you, so you'll have to write a code, maybe by using the programming that we have, like PL SQL for Oracle. You'll write that code and you'll give that code to them, and they'll they'll include that code and they will work. So these are the various responsibilities of an SQL developer. The final aspect involves programming. Okay, we'll see what programming is. Now, coming back to a developer's perspective, okay, as I told you, we will look into like what SQL is, what are the languages that SQL involves. These are the languages. So let me first tell you what SQL is. SQL, we say structured query language. Okay, SQL is a structured query language. Okay, you might have heard this terminology with various databases, be it like Oracle. Now we are saying Oracle SQL. When you talk about Microsoft, you see MS SQL. When you talk about Microsoft Office, you say MS Access. Again, SQL is involved. Okay. When you talk about say Postgres, you say Postgres SQL. When you talk about MySQL, again it has SQL. So SQL is common. Then what this SQL is all about? SQL is a structured query language. Okay, structured query language. I will explain it in layman's language so that you should get a clear idea. Now it's a language. I'm saying SQL is a language. Unlike English, English is also a language, right? English is also a language. So there is a lot of commonality between English and SQL. The words, the phrases that you use are quite similar to SQL. First thing is English is a language, SQL is a language. So out of this SQL, you got L is a language. Okay, what is that? We'll see. Now it's a structured query language. When I say structured, compare it with English. If you see this, what is your name? By reading this, you will come to know that somebody is asking a question. Somebody is asking a question. What is that? What is your name? They want to know your name. Now, these four words along with the question mark is a proper structure. Okay, this is a proper structure. Similarly, SQL also follows a proper structure. By following that structure, you will come to know you will write proper queries. Okay, you'll follow proper structure. Now, same question, same word. If I change, is name your what? I'm following the same words. I'm following the same word that is there in English only, but the structure seems to be quite different. Structure seems to be quite different, and you will not understand what the other person is asking you. Okay, you'll not understand in what the other person is asking you. So if you have a proper structure, then the chances are high that you will understand the request and you will give the appropriate answer. Similarly, when you write a query, now what is a query? A query is I can say query is a question to the database. Query is a question or a request or instruction to the database. Any of the words are suitable. So query is a question to the database. You are asking a question. How many employees are working in department so and so? It's a question to the database. Or you are requesting, please let me know how many employees are working as managers. Is a request or instruction. Insert a new record for a new employee who has joined. So you are giving an instruction. So all these are can be treated as a query. Okay. Now go back and see what SQL stands for. SQL is a structured query language. Okay, it follows a proper structure to query or interact with the database that database understands. Language is that database understands. Now, unlike English, if you ask the proper question, you will get the result. So here also, if you ask a proper query, then you will get the result. If that query has some errors which database cannot understand, okay, if you're not following the proper structure, it will throw an error with some error number and error message. So you'll come to know. Okay. So in short, SQL is a structured query language, we say. Now, there are so many databases in the market. As I told you, Oracle is one of them. Oracle, MS SQL Server. The other week, Shoaib was talking about MS SQL Server, and then Sybase, DB2, MySQL, okay, PostgreSQL, then you have like MS Access, okay. These are the various databases in the market. Then why people are going for Oracle? Why people are going for Postgres? Why people are going for Microsoft? Okay, there is a reason behind people's choice. Now, if you talk about a car, every car has some unique features. Now, the purpose of car is like it takes you from one place to other place, right? Similarly, purpose of database is also same, storing your data. Now, depending upon your choice, depending upon your budget and everything, you can actually decide which database you want to go with. Now, okay, there are so many databases and all that. Then what is common between all the database? SQL is common. Okay. Conceptually, all are same databases. Syntactically, they differ. When I say that conceptually all are same, concept is same. Every database has same concept. Every database has same concept. If I talk about Maruti car, okay, concept is like it will have four tires, it will have one steering, it will have like seating capacity for 4 or 5 members or 7 members. Okay, it will have some dashboard, it will have some gears and all that. Concept is same. If you talk about any car, these are the same concept, right? Every car will have a steering, every car will have 4 tires, or all that features with gears and everything. Now, how they differ then? They differ with the design. For example, some cars may have left-hand drive, some cars may have right-hand drive, some cars may have the AC buttons here, some cars will have there. Okay, and there are few aspects with the design and few aspects with the functionality as well. Some cars will have automatic gears, some cars will have manual gears. Okay, so conceptually all are same, syntactically they differ. That means when you are working with any database, conceptually they all are same. All the concepts that is there in one database are also available in other database. When you talk about syntax, how you write the query, how you make use of the functions that are specific to that, then they differ. Okay, then they differ. So SQL is written in English language only. SQL is written in English language only, that you can understand. That you can understand. There is a corporation called ANSI, American National Standards Institute. Following the ANSI standards, SQL is or can be designed. Okay, is or can be means already there are so many languages in the market that have been designed, or you can design your own language, but that takes a lot of courage to do that. So anyhow, so we got to know what SQL stands for. It's a structured query language, and it is common to all the database, okay, that you interact with. Okay, so these are the languages that are associated with Oracle SQL. First is like data retrieval language. We say DRL. Or simply we say DQL, data query language. Okay, or we simply say select statements. Okay, we will see what these are. But remember, as an SQL developer or data analyst, these are the various roles that you can have with this term SQL. Business analyst, okay, or business data analyst, okay, all these things. I can say 90% or above work will be with DRL, data retrieval language, or whatever you see, data query language, or you see select statements or select queries. So 90% of the time you will be working with retrieving the data. Now, what about other languages then? See, data control language. This is governed by DBA. DBA is a responsible person. He has the control over the data. He can grant access. Okay, he controls the database. He can grant access or he can revoke the access. For example, a new user is joining today, so he will provide that user with a user ID, a password to interact with the database, and his area. For example, he's working in finance department, so he will give the access relevant to finance. Okay, so this data control language is associated with DBA. Now DDL, data definition language, again DBA. Like we will see in detail like what these languages are. Again, DDL will be under DBA's control, like creating database objects and granting them access, renaming, and doing everything. As a developer, you can write a code. And send it to DBA. Then he will actually have the access to run that command. Okay, if I give, for example, if a new developer joins, I give the privilege to that developer to delete or drop an existing object. If he drops, then I will lose the data. Okay, now he will say by mistake I did that, or unknowingly I did that, or I did not do that, maybe. Okay, so to overcome those issues, we will not give access to all the developers. Maybe senior developers or like database architects will have the access. Now DML, okay, data manipulation language. This will be with SQL developers or application developers. You can write a code and you can send it to the DBA, so he will execute that. Okay, he will execute that. Again, transaction control language. This will be again with DBA. What these languages are, we will step into DBA's shoes and we will see all these languages today. Okay, so what these languages are, we will see in detail. So just remember that most of the time, as a SQL developer or data analyst or business analyst, you will be involved in data retrieval language, data query language. Data will be there. So you'll have to dig and you'll have to uh, read the data and you'll have to provide with the appropriate report or appropriate request. Okay. Now, so these are the languages that we were talking about. Data retrieval language, we say select statements. Now, when I talk about data control language, there are two instructions or two commands that a database admin uses. That is grant and revoke. Granting is providing an access. Granting is providing an access to the developer so that he can see whatever he wants. So you will provide, I mean, as a database administrator, you will get access to see or to perform any data. Okay, and the database administrator will revoke. That means he will take back the uh, permission that he gave you. Granting is giving permission to see specific data, okay, or work on specific data, and the revoking is taking back the permission. Got it? Now see, data definition language. Okay, whenever you plan to actually design your database, as I told you, a new company ABC has purchased Oracle database. They have got everything installed and all that. Now the next thing comes is what their business is all about. If they are into banking and all that, what tables they need to have, which stores the data. What is the table we will see now? Okay, what data they want, everything they need to have a proper design. Okay, if you want to build a 10-story apartment. Okay, now first thing is you don't simply take the material and start laying down the foundation and all that. No, you won't do that. First you have a proper design. Okay, there are these many floors will be there, and each floor will have these many flats, and each flat will have these many rooms and all that stuff, right? And there will be some parking and facility and all that. So you will go with the design. So first you will have a proper design of the database, how many database objects you should have, and what each database object, for example, table should contain, how many columns it should contain, how many rows, how many, what type of column it should contain, what is the name of the column, and is there any relation between two tables, all that thing. Once you design, then you go with the creating that, and there are various aspects we will see. How to make changes to the structure that you have already designed, how to remove that existing structure permanently, how to rename that, how to keep the structure and delete the data. So these are the aspects. So these are specifically with the database admin. Okay. Now, as I told you, data manipulation language, SQL developers or application developers will actually work on this area. So they will write insert queries or update queries. Okay, inserting new data, updating existing data. For example, new employee joins, so you need to insert that data in the database. So either an SQL developer will write an insert query, or there will be a form in which you can actually fill out the form with the respective details, right? Name, age, or date of birth, and then like your salutation, like Mr. Miss, whatever it may be, your qualification, your experience, your salary, how much you have been assigned with your joining date, and all that stuff. Okay, so once you click a button submit, then on that submit button an insert query will be written. Okay, so either uh, the application team will ask the developer to write the query to consider all the text boxes or all the things from the form. Once you click that, so it should be saved in so and so table. So as a SQL developer, you will write SQL query, or you will give that query to the application developer, so they will incorporate that in their application. So inserting is new data, updating is changing or modifying existing data. A new employee has joined like 3 months before. Now his salary is updating. Earlier he was earning 10,000. Now his salary after probation is 15,000. So that number needs to be modified. So you will use update query to modify existing data. Okay. Delete. Usually we don't go with the delete statement, but still, if you mistakenly, if you created anything, if you inserted, you can go and delete that data. Merging is like whenever you are merging or acquiring any other database, or you are clubbing two tables with the same name. So what you want is only you will have unique data with the latest changes. So that is the merging concept. So we'll see all these languages and we'll proceed. Okay. So while working with SQL, you will come across these concepts. You will come across these concepts. What are operators? What are functions? What are integrity constraints and joins and subqueries? And what are schema objects? I'll try to cover as much as possible. Okay, in another 1 hour and 15 minutes, I I'll take you from the very basic level, and hopefully you will take something out of this session. Okay, hopefully you'll take something out of this session. Now we were talking about database. What is a database? A database is a collection, I can say in layman's language, collection of objects. Okay, what are objects? Objects are those stuff that reside in the database permanently. Okay, so database is collection of objects. Database is collection of objects. Now there are so many database objects. The basic database object is table, uh, procedure, function, and then like I can say trigger, package, and view. Okay. These are various database objects that you can actually work with. So what is a database? It's a collection of database objects. What are the objects? These are the objects. Okay, that fulfills the need of the company. Now, table is a basic unit. Table is a basic unit. I can say table is a basic unit of database that stores data. How it stores? In the form of columns and rows. In the form of columns and rows. If I talk about Microsoft Excel, if I talk about Microsoft Excel, now see, these are, we say columns. These are columns. A, B, C, D. There will be so many columns. These are the columns. Okay. How about this? These are rows. 1, 2, 3. Okay. These are the rows. So when I talk about, table is a collection of rows and column. For example, I'm talking about employee table, or say department table. Department is a table. Okay. Say that department is a table. It has few columns like department number is a column, department name is a column, location is a column. Okay, so it's a collection of columns and rows. Now you have a column. Okay, what a column does? What a column does? Stores similar type of data. A column stores similar type of data. What do you mean by similar type of data? You're talking about a data type. For example, if I'm talking about department number is a column, I will store department numbers. Okay. Now there are two things when you say similar type of data. First thing is it will store department numbers. Okay, by the name itself you will come to know that a department column will store some department number column will store department numbers. When I say similar type of data, all these data are numerical. All these data are of numerical. So what data types we use? Usually we use number, and then like character, we say variable character. There's a data type name variable character. It stores number characters. Just remember that. The third thing is date. So whenever you talk about data types, you will work with either of these three data. Either you will store the numbers, either you will store some characters, either you will store some dates. For example, numbers, department numbers, department number column stores department number, department name stores department name. For example, accounting, research department 30 is say sales, operations. These are the department names. These are the department name. Again, location column. Location column stores the location. For example, this department number 10, which is accounting, it is situated in, say, for example, New Jersey. This is situated in Chicago. This is in Boston. This is in New York. I'm just giving you an example. Okay. So what did you understand by the name table? A table will store data in the form of columns and rows. Columns and rows. And when I say that a column will store similar type of data, okay, department number column is storing department numbers, department name is storing department names. The other thing is it is storing variable character data, it is storing numerical data. Okay, if you have say date, then anything related to, for example, employee hiring date, joining date, so you will use this data type date, and you will store the date. Okay, columns, okay, it is okay. Then what is row? When I say a table is a collection of, or it stores the data in the form of rows and columns, so what a row contains? Stores complete data of an entity. Okay, a row stores complete data of an entity. Now, what do you mean by entity? Entity can be anything. If I'm talking about department, then one row will give me complete information about particular department. See, I want to know the details of department 10. Okay, so this row will give me department number is 10 and the name of that department is accounting, and that department is located in New Jersey. Give me the details of 40. So this row will give me the complete information about department 40. Name of the department is 40. Okay, and it is located in New York, and the name of this department is operations. Okay, department number is 40. It is situated in New York, and the name is operations. Okay, I have only 3 columns, but in real time you will have hundreds of columns. Okay, so one record will give you entire information about that particular entity. Here I am talking about department. So what entity can be? It can be anything. Entity can be anything, like department or customer or say product, employee, student. Entity can be anything. So one particular record, one particular row, we say row as a record also. We say row as record. Also we say column as field. Okay. One row or one record will store complete information about an entity. Complete information about an entity. Entity can be anything. If you are talking about department table, it will store the details of a particular department. If you're talking about customer table, it will store the details of customer, like customer name, customer ID, customer location, customer contact number, customer site address, customer like maybe email ID, customer phone number, all that stuff. If you're talking about student, okay, what one record will give you? One record pertaining to specific student. Okay, if there are 40 students in a class, so each row will give you complete information about one particular student. Okay, if student A, his name is like marks in various subjects, be it like 3 or 6 or 7 subjects, whatever it may be, all the marks relevant to a specific subject, and his email ID if they have, or the mobile number of his father and his location and all that stuff, his registration number or his admission number when he joined and all that stuff. So one row will give you, or it stores complete data of a particular entity. Now data can be stored in multiple tables as well. Okay, data can be stored in multiple tables. We are talking about database. Database is collection of objects. Okay, and there are so many database objects. Table is the basic object. Table is the basic object. Apart from table, there are other objects as well: procedures, functions, triggers, packages, and view. So when I'm saying that data can be stored in multiple tables, now a new thing comes into picture. What is that? Relation, right? There should be some relation. So we talk about relational database. Okay, when you say that data can be stored in multiple tables. For example, if I also have employee table, uh, wherein I have various columns: employee number, okay, employee name, his job, his salary, if he's earning any commission, the hire date when the employee was joined, if he's working under any manager, then manager number, or if he's working for any specific department. For example, 7369 is the employee number. His name is, say, Smith. His job is he's working as clerk. His salary is, say, 800. He's earning no commission. He was joined on, say, 2nd April, say, 87. I'm just giving some raw data. He belongs to some manager, okay, whose manager number is 7902, and he is working in department 10. He is working in department 10. So now employee number column should give me all the details of various employees. Okay, all the employee numbers. Okay, number of employees. If your company has 200 employees, so all the employee numbers or employee IDs should be there in that particular column. All the name of the employees should be there in another column, like e name or employee name or whatever column name they go with. The designations will be there in some specific column, like job. Okay, clerk, manager, analyst, president, CEO, or marketing head, what all designations that employee holds. So you'll find in that. Okay, so each column will store similar type of data. Okay, and it gives you like what data type you're storing into. When I talk about a row or a record, it gives me complete information. I want to know the details of Smith. Who's Smith? Smith is an employee. What details you want? All the details. Okay, Smith's employee ID is 7369. He's working as clerk. He's earning 800. He's earning no commission. He was hired on 2nd April 1987. He is working under a manager whose ID is 7902, and he belongs to department 10. This is the details related to employee only. This is the details related to employee only. Now, if I say that these are the details related to employee, if I want to know Smith's department name, if I want to know Smith's department name, so I'm sorry, but there is no such information available here. I have only department number, but there is no department name. But then there is another table which stores details about department, which stores details about departments. If I say there's another table which stores details about department, then I'll have to make use of that table. Now, department number 10, what is the name? Accounting. So by coming here and saying that, I can say that department 10 is accounting. So Smith is working in accounting department. What did we understand? Data can be stored in multiple tables. Data can be stored in multiple tables. Each table will have data for specific to that particular table only. Now there should be some relation. There should be some relation. What is that relation? I'm saying that there are employees. Ford, say maybe working as manager. His earning is say uh, something like this. He's earning no commission. He was hired on say 1st Jan 82, for example, he's working under, okay, and he's working in department 10. Okay, these are, I'm just giving you a raw example. Okay, there is another record. There is another record. What if you understand these two employees, Mr. Smith and Ford, are working in department 10, same department. That means many employees can belong to one department. It is true, right? You have created a department and there will be many employees working in that department. So what relation I can say that, okay, these two are tables and there's a relation. I can say that many to one, many to one relation. Okay. So usually we will go with many to one relation. So when I talk about relation database management system, in short, RDBMS, a relational database management system. Data is stored in multiple tables. Data is stored in multiple tables. You know what a table is, and the relation can be many to one. I give you an example, right? Many employees belong to one department. There can be, say, 5 employees working in department 10. There can be 6 employees working in department 20, 3 employees working in 30. Somehow we have one department, but none of the employees have been allocated to that department. Okay, it is possible. So now this department is a parent table. I can say department is a parent table. That means first parent should exist, then comes the child, right? In similar terminology, when there is a department, then only you will allocate that department to a particular employee. If there is no department, now a new employee joins. Scott, he's working as, say, manager. He's earning 2,800. Okay, he was hired on, say, he's working under say the manager. He's working for department 20. Okay. Now see, relation can be many to one. Relation can be many to one. So you have a department, and there are many employees working. Now, if I say that Scott is working, and I want to allocate Scott to a department which does not exist, which actually does not exist, go and check. Go and check in a department. There are only four departments, 10, 20, 30, 40. That means whenever a new employee joins, so you have to allocate that employee, with the existing departments only. So if you try to allocate that department which is not available, so your database should not allow you to insert that record. We will see that functionality. So I will just quickly start with that. So any questions till now? Just ping me. If you have any questions, just ping me. Don't open the mic, otherwise others will get disturbed. Or if you think that everything is clear, so let me go with the same pace and continue and dive in with the database and then move ahead. So you got an idea of like what a table is and how data is stored in multiple tables, what relation we will have, okay, and all that. Okay. And there will, when I say that department is a master table or parent table, so first master or parent table should exist, then a child or details table will exist. So there is a relation. I'll let you know what a schema is. Somebody is asking. I'll let you know. Okay. So we are talking about relational database concepts. Dr. E.F. Scott, he proposed the relational model for database like during 1970. Okay, it is the basis for the relational database management system. The relational model consists of the following: collection of objects or relations. We have seen many to one relation, collection of objects. set of operators to act on the relations. We will see what operators we can make use of. Okay, and the data integrity for accuracy and consistency. I give you one example. Okay, accurate data integrity. You want to allocate an employee with the department that does not exist, so it will not allow you. So that is data integrity. Okay, that is data integrity. Accuracy and consistency. You can rely on the data. You can rely on the data. For example, an employee who was joined 3 months before, his salary was 10,000. Now the employee salary is updated to 15,000. Okay, the moment the salary gets updated, that should be reflected in the database, and whoever sees that salary, he should see the latest data. That means the accuracy should be there. Okay, now if I go back and if I see my data, my salary should be updated. The moment it says updated, that should reflect everywhere. Okay, yeah, this training is getting recorded. You'll get that recording also. Just leave your email ID. You'll get that. Okay. So this relational database model was proposed by Dr. E.F. Ford. So when you get time, just go and search in Google like what is a relational database, what are the rules that E.F. Ford has proposed, all that. So this is in a nutshell. So we will be considering these aspects. Okay, what are relations? We have just seen many to one relation. What operators? We see what operators we can make use of. Okay, to have relations, and how data integrity works. There are few integrity constraints. We will see that constraints as well. We'll see those constraints as well. Okay, integrity constraints. We'll see the operators as well. Okay, so this is the data model. So client will have something in his mind. Okay, they want to have a database with so and if they are into banking, if they are into some production, all that, so they'll have a model. Okay, so there will be some entity models in client, like many to one relation, as I told you, many employees belonging to one department. Similarly, there will be many customers belonging to specific product. Okay, many students belonging to one class, many uh, products belonging to a specific customer, all that stuff. Okay, this is the model, and then actually the data gets stored in the Oracle servers. So here, when I say that the data is stored in multiple tables, here I'm saying that department is the parent table. So you'll find some data in the department table. You'll find some data in the department table. See here, every department is unique in itself. Every department is unique in itself. If I say that I belong to 10, then my department name is accounting. If I say I belong to 10, but my department name is say finance, this is not possible. There's only one department whose name is accounting. Okay, there's only one department, that is 10, whose name is accounting. If I say that there's one more department, number is 10, finance, it is situated in New Jersey. It is not possible because you are creating an ambiguity with the department numbers. Okay. Now, similarly, if you have two students with the same student ID, if you are having two employees with the same employee ID, it is not appropriate. Okay. There will be many disadvantages of having same ID with multiple customers, same ID with multiple students. Okay, so it is better to have unique ID. It's better to have unique ID. So how you can ensure that a column has unique data? So there are few rules. If I'll go in deep when I talk about integrity constraints, but remember there are few rules that you need to enforce. So every table will have at least one column. Every table will have at least one column. Now, as I have discussed, so I will tell you the rules, and then we will dive in. These are the rules. Okay. First is primary key. Second is foreign key. Third is unique. Fourth is not null. Fifth is check. Just give me 1 minute. I will explain you very quickly. When you say that a column should have unique values. A column should have unique value. I have got one more column. I've got one more column. There's one department finance which is situated in Atlanta, but the department has no ID. No, sir, this is not possible. Okay, departments are unique. There is no repetition of department numbers, but you cannot keep a key column by which you identify a department. You cannot keep that as null. You cannot keep that as empty. So that means when you say that unique, no duplicates are allowed. But may include a null value. May include a null value. Here, you're saying that department number is having unique numbers, but it might include a null value. But this is not acceptable. I cannot. Maybe I can go with some other. Maybe I can go with some other column wherein I can keep some null values. But the key columns should be entered. Key columns should be entered. Employee numbers means yes, every employee should have employee number. Okay, there is a possibility that few employees don't get commission. I can keep null, but key column should be unique and at the same time they can't keep empty. So when you talk about a unique key, no duplicates are allowed, perfect, but chances are there that you may include a null value. So you will go with not null. Nulls are not allowed, null values. So if I say that this is a unique key, then possibility of allowing null. If I say nulls are not allowed, then what did I got? Okay, I have entered some value. For finance, but then come on, already there is a department with the same number. I ensured that nulls are not allowed, but repetition is possible. Nulls are not allowed, but duplicates can be there. What I want is I want to have one unique column which ensures that no duplicates are allowed, no nulls are allowed. Then I'll have primary key. No duplicates, no null values. Okay, so I can say that primary key is a combination of unique and not null. These two constraints, these two rules, wherein no duplicates are allowed, at the same time no null values are allowed. So every table will have one primary key. If department is a master table and I'm ensuring that whenever a new employee joins, he will be allocated with a particular department which actually exists. Now these departments are coming from department table. So I'm ensuring that whatever department I have, only those departments are allowed. Now for me, this department number, which is actually the propriety of department table. So here it is acting as a foreign column for me. In employee table, it is acting as a foreign column. So I can say that foreign key belong to parent table's primary key. This is the meaning. Okay. So actually, a foreign key is a primary key in some other table. So when you say that it is a department number in employee table is a foreign key, that means it is primary key in some other table. Got it? Check is a rule that ensures that checks follows a rule. For example, you want to get your election ID. There is a rule that you should have reached 18 years or above, then only you are eligible. So whenever you are going to apply for election ID, first thing that they check is your date of birth. Okay, if you reached 18 or above, then only you are eligible. Even if one day is remaining, you will not be provided with the electoral ID. Similar is the case with driving license, right? So there's a rule that needs to be checked. So before inserting a record, if I say that the hiring date should be today's date or upcoming date, but it cannot be earlier date. right? This is a rule. I am inserting a new record today, but I want to give the hiring data as like previous day's date or a day before 1 month. So it is not possible. So there is a rule that you need to check. So you can enforce those rules. For example, employees who are getting new employees, the salary should be between 800 to 5,000 only. Whatever salary you want, give 800 or 5,000 or any number between these two ranges. So you can have that rule. So these are the integrity constraints or rules that you can enforce on tables. Enforce on tables. Okay. By following this, you are ensuring that by following these rules, you are ensuring by following these rules, you're ensuring that, okay, there's a relation between table and the data that you're getting is accurate, appropriate, and consistent, everything. So each row of the data in table is using identified by primary key. You can logically relate data from multiple tables using foreign key. So department ID in department table is the primary key. Similar that department ID in the employee table is the foreign key. Okay. So this is how you work with SQL database. Now we will see how to query the data, how to write the basic query. First thing is, as I told you, a company called ABC, they got the database installed. Okay. Now every user will have a unique ID and password. For example, when I install my database here, by default to interact with the database, I will have SQL Plus is the environment. SQL Plus is the environment for me to interact with the database. Oracle database. Okay. See, so I have Oracle version 11G. Okay, 11.2 is the version, and all right. So it is asking me to provide a proper username. It is asking me to provide username, proper username. By default, when you install Oracle database for learning purposes, so you will have few specific users that you can work with. For example, Scott is the user by default, and Tiger, Tiger. I'm typing Tiger. The moment you provide the credentials, it will connect you to the database, connected to Oracle database 11G Enterprise Edition and all that. It is 64-bit production, the partitioning on all those details, So now I'm connected to SQL. If I type, just a moment. Oh, sorry. School Oracle SQL webinar. Whatever queries I'm typing along with the results, even if I face any errors, I want to store that in a file called like in E drive. I want to have this file. So once we complete this session, I will try to share this file as well along with the presentation and this file, so that whatever command, whatever queries we type, you will see those that will be handy with you. Okay. So there's a command in SQL Plus school. By using the school command, you can actually mention the file name. If I go to E drive, that file will be there. See, Oracle SQL webinar.lab, but then this file is empty because I did not have any data in it. That file will be created once before I end. If I say school off, then that data will be copied. Okay, so I'm connected to Oracle database with Scott as a user. I just want to know who is the school user. Show user command will show me the username that I'm connected to. So first thing is I am connected to Oracle database using SQL Plus as the client or SQL Plus as the environment. Okay. Now by default, as I told you, when I install the Oracle database, as a student, as a learner, you can also get the database from Oracle. Okay, they will give for learning purposes. They'll give for learning purposes. Install Oracle 11G database. If you're working on 64-bit system, or better say download first. It will take you to Oracle website. See, this is from oracle.com. Oracle database 11G release 2 for Microsoft 64-bit. Go and check in your system what bits you have, 64 or what. Just right click here and go to properties to show you. Okay, 64 system type is 64-bit operating system. So if you are working with 64-bit operating system, then install 64. If you're still using 32-bit, then you can go with 32-bit operating system. So this is the link. If you click this link, it will take like at least 1 hour for me to show you the installation, but I'm just telling you. So these are the two files. These are the two files, 1 of 2 and 2 of 2. These are the zip files. Okay, this is from Oracle. Okay, the moment you click, it will ask for SSO, single sign-on. So create one email ID, like you might be having some Gmail ID. So create a similar ID with that here with Oracle. Okay, give that ID itself, like if your ID is mozum.ocp@gmail.com, create that ID. The moment you click here, it will ask for that. Okay, it will ask to acknowledge, just check this box, and it will take you to the Oracle single sign-on page. Then you can actually install one after the other. Once you download these two files, ensure that you have WinRAR as the software. So that will help you uh, actually unzipping this, because these are zip files. Ensure you have WinRAR software. So you can simply right click this, and it will take one more session for me to actually show you how things get installed. Maybe in future, if I get time, or I will try to include a word copy wherein you'll have screenshots at least. Okay. By seeing that, you'll be able to know that. So I have installed it from Oracle itself. Okay, as a learner, as a student, they provide. So by default, I have been provided with a specific user ID and password. So I'm connected to Oracle SQL by using that ID and password. In short, now I'm connected to Scott. First thing is, I want to know as a user, what all privileges I have been assigned with. For example, what all access I have been assigned with. Select star from tab. It will give me all the table names or view names that I have access to. What is this select? What is this star? We'll see in next minute. There are so many tables. There are so many tables that I have been allocated with. There are so many tables. For example, EMPs, there, DEPTs, there. We were talking about these two tables. There's one more table called sal grade. Okay, so these are the and bonus. By default, you will find these four tables whenever you install bonus, employee, department, and sal grade. By default, you will have these four tables. I said that table is a table stores the data in the form of rows and columns. Now there's a table called department, but I want to see, before seeing what actual data it has, I want to see the structure. I want to see the structure. I'll share this notes also with you. Sure. Describe the structure of a table. Query is, if you are in SQL prompt, the query is describe followed by table name. Describe followed by table name. I know department is a table name. If I say syntax is describe followed by table name, then terminate with semicolon. This is the syntax. I was saying earlier that SQL is conceptually same everywhere, but syntactically it differs. So what is the syntax to describe the table? It is describe followed by table name. So I know the table name is department. Already I saw I have access to that table. Okay, describe followed by table name. Here I will say describe followed by table name DEPT and give semicolon to mark end of your query. Give semicolon to mark end of your query and press enter to execute that query. Now it is describing this department table. It is saying these are the column names. These are the column names. Department number is a column, department name is a column, location is a column. Department name actually stores numerical data type and its length is limited to 2 digits. Its length is limited to 2 digits. Department number is a column, its length is limited to 2. 1, 0, 2, 0, 3, 0, 4. So at the max you can have 99. 99 is the highest 2-digit number. So you can have 99 departments. Here I am skipping every 10 numbers after each department. So maybe you can have 0, 1 up to 99 departments. Okay, that is the meaning. So these are the various data types. Number is the data type and this is the size. Department name stores character data, variable character, where varchar2 is the data type name. So varchar2 it stores up to 14 characters. Similarly, location is a column name, it stores up to 13 characters, variable character. This is how you can describe department. Similarly, if you want to describe employee, then describe followed by EMP. Give the appropriate table name. EMP is the table name, department is the table name. Press semicolon to mark end of query and hit enter to execute. Now see, employee table has these many columns: employee number, e-name, job, manager, hire date, salary, commission, department number, and these are the data types. And see here, not null. This department number, you cannot keep this as a null value, so you'll have to enter a value. For primary key also it shows not null. So this department number is a primary key, but it will show only for null values. We cannot keep this value as a null. Similarly, employee number in employee table cannot be kept as null. It's a primary key. So these are the various things. Hire date is of date data type, and like employee number is at the max, it stores 4 digits. These are the variable characters. Now for salary and commission, we can have out of 7 size, we can have 2 for decimal point. If salary is 48,079, so 48,000.79, so it accepts 2 decimal point. That this is the meaning. Out of 7 digits, 2 are reserved for decimal points and rest of the 5 can be for actual. So what we got to know, how to describe the table, by using describe command. Now I have logged in as a Scott user. I have logged in as a Scott user. Okay. Now Scott is actually a user for me. At the same time, Scott is a schema. Wherein that schema has specific tables or other database objects that I am assigned with. Okay, so user can also be called as a schema in Oracle. Okay, a schema or user are quite interchangeably used. So that means if you are working in Scott schema, that means you will be able to see only those objects that have been allocated to Scott, or whatever objects you create as a Scott user. Okay, you create as a Scott user. For example, a new employee joins, say Ravi. So we will create a new user with Ravi, and we will give him access to all the tables or other objects that is relevant to Ravi, or he can create his own tables in his user. So Ravi is a user for him, also is a schema. Okay, these are interchangeably used. As I told you, department number is a column in department table, which is a primary key. Okay, what all, if a new employee joins, so he will be allocated with a particular department. That department number which I am allocating to employee belongs to actually another department's main primary key. So here this department number acts as a foreign key, which is not local to this employee table. Okay, we are actually relating this department to the actual department node. So foreign key is actually a primary key. Foreign key in one table actually is a primary key in another table. See here, Scott is a user. As I told you, Scott is also a schema. Now see, there's one more user. There's one more. I can say provision. Let me change the color. There's one more user called HR. HR. Now you are connected to HR. Okay. Select star from tab. You will see all the data, all the objects that are relevant to HR user. Countries, departments, employees, jobs. These are the specific tables that are relevant to HR. Now, HR is a different user. Also, HR is a different schema. Okay. Now, if I'm talking about Scott, Scott will not be able to see what is there in HR. If I'm talking about HR, HR will not be able to see what all we have in Scott. DEPT was the table name. Are we able to see here? No. EMP was the table name in Scott. So we are unable to see what is there. So every schema will be limited. Now it depends upon the database admin. He create one common schema and he gives access to many users. Okay, many users. Now Scott is the user ID and password is Tiger for me in here. So I can have like 10 users working with the same user and password as well. Okay, that is also possible. So let's proceed. So we have seen how to describe uh, the structure of a table. How to describe the structure of a table. This was our first query. Or in short, this was our second query. First, see list of database tables or views that the user has been assigned with. What was the syntax? Or simply query, I should say. Select star from tab. Okay, that will list down. Now let's proceed quickly. Your first keyword tells what you're going to do. If I say select, that means that first keyword is actually letting the database know what you are going to do. Your select is simply data retrieval. Your select is simply data retrieval. Your select is simply data retrieval. Retrieval is nothing but viewing the data. Okay, already you have data. Already data is there. We are simply retrieving what all we need. We are retrieving that data. So your statement tells what you're going to do. You're not going to make any changes with the select statement. You are simply viewing the data. Select is simply viewing or retrieving the data. Viewing or retrieving the data. Now if I say select star from now let's jump into very basic query. Basic select statement. Syntax of a basic select statement. What is the syntax? Select star from table name. I can write in the SQL prompt select star from. What is the table name? We have seen EMP is the table, DEPT is as a table. So if I say DEPT and say a semicolon, then it will show me the details of that table name. Now, before jumping into that, what this star is? Star means selecting all columns data. This star resembles selecting all columns data. So if I say select star from department, department table has 3 columns like department number, department name and location. So if I say select star from department, I will be able to see all columns data. Department number, under that column what all data we have. Department name, under that column what all data we have. Location, under that column what all data we have. So see here, select star from department. Department, these are the department numbers, these are the department names, these are the locations. Okay, if I say select star from sal grade is a table name. So these are the data. There is a column called grade, there is a column called low salary, high salary. These are the grades for a range of salaries. Okay, similarly for employee, if I say select star from emp. Now this page size of this SQL process limited, so even though we have 8 columns, the 8th column will be displayed in the next line. There are 14 rows. For example, employee number is 7902, employee name is Ford, his job is analyst, his manager is 7566, he was hired on 3rd December 81, his earnings 73,000, there is no commission. And the last column in the next line, he belongs to department 20. Similarly, Miller belongs to 10, James belongs to 30, Adam belongs to 20. So these are the various data that is there in the employee. If you press up arrow, it will show the last query. If you press the up arrow, it will show the last query. If you press ed, that is, it will open an editor. If you type ed and press enter, it will open an editor. It will show what last query you wrote. So you wrote this query. Okay, select star from emp. So instead of showing that semicolon, it will mark the end of the query by using this forward slash. You can make some changes. Again, the EPT, I make some changes. Don't write semicolon here because already forward slash marks end of the query. Say save and then say exit. Now what all changes we make to the query, it is visible now. Press the forward slash, it will execute the last query that you saved. You saved the query, you make some changes. So here it is showing you. So okay, so we can actually see selecting star resembles selecting all columns, but I don't want all columns. I want to see specific column. Now see the syntax. To see specific column data, it would be like select. Instead of giving star, what I can give is column name 1 from table name. Give the semicolon. So here in my case, I can write under the SQL form, I can write select followed by say department number is the column. From which table the EPT is the name. I can write like this. I can write select department number from the EPT. So it will show me only department number, columns, data, entire column. So these are the various departments. So if I want to edit, simply press ed and go and then write dname, save and exit, press the forward slash and see. From keyword not found, where expected, here it is. These are the various department names. Similarly, if I want to see only location, I will go and I will give location. These are the, can I see multiple columns? Yes. Selecting multiple columns by separating with a comma. So what will be my syntax? Same syntax. I hope everyone is understanding. Select column name, give a comma, and then write column name 2. Here, along with department number, I want to see department name like this. So here, go and edit your query. Select department number, comma, dname from department. So I'm selecting multiple columns, so I'm separating with a comma. I'm selecting multiple columns, so I'm separating with a comma. Save, Alt F, save and Alt F exit. Press the forward slash to execute the previous query. Now see, I'm selecting department number and department name. No, I want to see department number and its location. Come here, change. What am I doing? I'm not making any changes in the database. This first keyword says that you are only selecting. So you view as you want. So maybe like if you're standing in front of your house, okay, in the front door. So if you enter from there, you'll see what all is there from there. If you're entering from the back door, you'll see what all is present from there. Okay, if you're sitting in the middle, you can see what all you want, right? So it all depends about your viewing. Your, you know, what you want to view, you view it, but that doesn't mean that you're changing anything in the database. Okay. If I want to see department number and location like this, so can I change the sequence? You are not changing anything, you are viewing. location followed by department number, DEPT. Yep, you can see it like this as well. Because you are not making any changes, you are viewing as per your requirement. Can I view same column multiple times? You can. There's no limit. You can. There's no limit. So see, I'm viewing location multiple times, department multiple times. You can view. There's no limit. See, same location can be viewed multiple. This doesn't make any sense. But when you're working with arithmetic operations and all that, then you can actually see the details as you want. Now I want to see the details of employee table. Select what all columns we have. Describe, CNP. So I have employee number, e-name, job. I want to see the employee number, his name, his job, and salary. Select employee number, give a comma, e-name, give a comma, sal, give a comma, and job. From which table? From EMP. Now, what did I do? I entered the query in multiple lines. So you can write query in multiple lines as well. Select follows like list of columns that you want to see. From follows the table name or table names. So you can write multiple queries unless you put a semicolon. If you hit enter, it will take you to line 3, line 4, line 5. Okay. So semicolon marks end of your query. Hit enter to execute the query. There are 14 employees. These are the relevant employee numbers. These are the names. Okay. These are the salaries that these employees are earning, and these are the designation. I want to know the employee number 7839. 7839 is name of the employee is King. He's earning 5,000 and he is working as president. 7369. 7369. Employee name is Smith. He's earning 800. He's working as clerk. Can I include the department number as well? Yep. Go here, give a comma, and then give department number. Okay. So they belong to specific departments. They belong to specific department. So we have seen a very basic select statement to select all the data with using asterisk, or to select limited data or specific columns data by using specific column names. Now I will go and modify my syntax. So what have we seen? So modified syntax. Syntax is you write select, either you write asterisk or you write specific column name. Column name 1, comma, column name 2 goes on. Select followed by list of columns from table name. Make sense? Either you are using asterisk or you are using specific column names. One column is there, just use that column name. If you have multiple columns, separate it with a comma. That is the meaning in writing this syntax, right? So when you want to select the entire data, you go and do that. Now I want to sort the data. I want to sorting data using order by clause. There is a clause that you can actually add on top of this. The syntax is, now we are modifying again. Select followed by star or list of column from table name. I'm not terminating my query here. I want to include one more clause, that is order by clause. So I will write order by followed by order by is used for sorting. Order by used for sorting. I want to sort based on the say department number. So order by followed by column name. So how can I write a query? Like select employee number, e-name, sal, job, department number. Okay, from EMP order by, what is the column name? DEPTNO. This is how you write. So similarly, simply go here and make the necessary changes. From employee, then give order by what? Which column? DEPTNO. Now see, first department 10 employees, then 20, then department 30 employees. Sir, is there any possibility I can see from the least salary to the highest salary? Yes, you can order by using a salary column. The syntax is order by column name. You can write either ascending or descending. Default is ascending order. Now see here, did I mention here ascending or descending order? No, but by default it's sorted in the ascending order. That is the meaning. So if you don't mention any ascending or descending order, by default it will be sorted in the ascending order. By default it will be sorted in the ascending order. Now I want to sort it with salary. Same query, write like this. Instead of department number, I will write salary. If you want, put ascending. Otherwise, it will anyhow it will sort in the ascending order only. Here, go back and change it to ascending order. Order by, oh, I missed the column name. Order by salary. See, I told you if you don't follow the proper structure, Oracle will not understand what you're going to do. It throws an error. Error at line 1. Welcome. We have got one error. Aura 00936 is the error name. A missing expression. It is marking here. It is showing order by, something is missing here. What was missing? Column name. Order by column name is salary. Okay. See, starting with the least salary and going with the highest salary. So Smith is the one who's earning the least salary and King is the one who's earning the highest salary. So we have a salary in the range between 800 to 5,000 with various designations. Can I sort it with like designations? Yeah, you can. So change the column name. If I say job, now job is a column which stores characters data. So characters will be sorted in A to Z manner, A to Z manner, starting with A and Z. So there are two analysts and then clerk A, C, M, P, S. This is the fashion. Okay. Similarly, you can sort with employee ID, you can sort with employee name, or you can sort with other columns. So sorting is simple. Whether you sort it by a column in the ascending or descending order. I want to sort in the descending order of salary. I want to see the highest salary first. Sal followed by descending. Now, descending order will ensure that you are seeing the maximum salary here, followed by least salary here. You can order by you. But why am I seeing the entire data every time? Why am I seeing the entire data? Is there any possibility that I can use for specific condition? By using specific condition, I can see the data. That means you want to actually filter the data. You want to filter the data. How can you filter the data? Sorting data by using order by clause. Note, order by clause should be the last clause in the query. Now the select is a clause, from is a clause, order by is a clause. Select is a clause, from is a clause, order by is a clause. Okay. So we have seen this stuff, right? Now see the statement select followed by asterisk or column name. This square bracket is like optional. If you want, you can include this or not, and you can give alias name also. We'll see what that alias name is. Select identifies what columns, from identifies which table. So in short, SQL is used to SQL is used to retrieve data. Statements are not case sensitive. Statements are not case sensitive. What do you mean by case sensitive? You see here, select if I write like this, or if I write, statements are not case sensitive. Whether you write in capital letters or small letters, it will work, or a combination. Okay, combination of both, lowercase and it will work. But values are case sensitive. Values are case sensitive. Okay, SQL statements can be in one or more lines. We have seen keywords cannot be abbreviated or split across lines. Now we have seen this. Select star from DEPT. You can split your query in multiple lines. Select clause, from clause, and all that. You can split in multiple lines. It will show, but don't split the word. Select star from. Now you splitted this keyword from in multiple lines. It will throw an error. From keyword not found. It is throwing some error. It is throwing some error. So you cannot split the words. You can keep the words in one line. Okay, keep different words in one line. That makes sense. But don't split the word. This is the meaning. Keywords cannot be abbreviated, split across lines. Clauses are usually placed on separate lines. Clauses are like select clause, from clause, order by clause, where clause. So it is better to give in multiple lines so that the user can read it easily. Indents are used to enhance readability. If you want, you can give comments also and indents to have more readability. So let's proceed. These are the arithmetic operators we can perform while retrieving data. Now, plus symbol is used for addition, minus symbol is used for subtraction, this asterisk symbol or star symbol is used for multiplication, and this forward slash is used for division. Okay, for example, including arithmetic operators expressions. See, these 2 hours are very limited because I'm going in detail, and Oracle Plus is by default, you will get it when you install Oracle database. When you install Oracle database, by default, you'll get Oracle SQL Plus. I told you you can download it from the server. I will try to incorporate that Word copy, and you can actually get it, the screenshot. Okay. Now see, I want to see the salary. Select ename, salary from EMP. These are the employee names and these are the salaries that they are getting. These are the monthly salary. These are the monthly salary. What I want is, okay, management has decided to give 500 as bonus to all the employees. Management has decided to give 500 as bonus to all the employees. Can I see the salary after giving 500 as bonus? What you want to do is, instead of salary, give plus operator and say 500. So along with the salary, you want to give 500. So 800 should now become 1300. 1600 should now become 2100. That is the meaning. Okay, this is the meaning. But can I see the actual salary also? Just separate it with a comma and write salary. As I told you, you can write multiple columns. You can write same column many times. So I'm writing salary. Also, I'm seeing what will happen if I say sal plus 500. Okay, it is giving sal plus 500. This is the thing. If management says that there is a deduction of 200 as professional tag. So from the actual salary is 800. If I deduct 200, what will be the salary? See, actual salary is 800. So if I deduct 200, 600. Actual salary is 1300. If I deduct 200, it would be 11. If I add 500, it would be 1800. What if I want to perform both? If I want to perform both, comma, sal plus 500 is the bonus, minus 200 as the deduction. See, this is the actual salary. Plus 500 is 1300. 13 minus 200 is 1100. So these are the arithmetic operators, plus, minus, that you can do. I want to see the annual salary also. I want to see the annual salary. See, sal into 12 will give me the annual salary. Okay, what did I do? Sal into 12. See, this is the annual salary. If somebody is earning 5,000, 5,000 12 is 60,000. Perfect. This is the annual salary. If you multiply, you will get multiplication. If you add, you will get addition. If you subtract, you will get subtraction. fraction. Similarly, you know that these are the monthly salary. If you want hourly salary, if you can say sal divided by 30, okay, you'll get the daily salary. Sorry, daily salary. So daily is earning 26, daily is earning 53. Okay, Mr. King, whose salary is 5,000 per month, daily he is earning 166. If you divide by again 8, you will get hourly salary. So these are the arithmetic operators that you can perform. We can see you're getting some different column names. These are called actually expressions. These are called expressions. Anything along with the column is called an expression. Sal by 30, it is an expression. The salary is the actual column, ename is the actual column, sal by 30 is actually you're performing some operation. So this is called an expression. You can give alias name also. You can give alias name also. Alias name. Syntax is column name, give space, use as, and then open the double quotes, give whatever name you want, like this. For example, if I write select ename as employee name, okay, from EM. So even though actual name is employee, what am I doing? Am I making any changes in the database? No, I'm simply selecting. So I'm selecting the ename as employee name. Here ename as space give as and double quotes write emp name. If it is one word or if it is with underscore, no need to give double quote also. It will accept. It will accept. Now see, I change the ename as employee name. Sal, I want to write it as salary. So simply I can write as salary. If it is one word, no need to give double quotes. Without double quote also it will work. If it is one word or the word is with underscore, you can write without double quotes also. Salary. Sal divided by 30 as daily salary. This is how you can give alias name. Use the as keyword. This as keyword is also optional. This as keyword is also optional. What does it mean? If I'm writing daily sal into 12, don't give as, simply give sal into 12 space like annual sal. Because these are two words, now double quotes are mandatory, otherwise it will throw an as is optional. See, annual sal, I did not give as, but it is recommended that you always give as and close the alias name in double quotes. So whatever maybe it will accept. This is a good practice. This is how you can give alias name. For example, if I'm writing select ename job from employee. What are you expecting out of this query? What are you expecting? After ename column, I gave a space, I gave a different column. Actually, two columns should be separated with a comma. We can expect an error that comma is missing. But then there is an like other feature that whenever you give a column name separated with a comma and then any word, it will act as an alias name. So for ename, you are actually treating job as the alias name. These are the actual employee names, but because you did not give a comma, it took job as an alias name. This is how it works. How it works. Okay. Try to give appropriate names. Otherwise, separate to the comma and ensure you are retrieving the right data. Now, I want to make use of where clause. Just give me 15 minutes. I want to show you joins also. I want to show you subqueries also. In 15 minutes, in next 15 minutes, we will cover joins and subqueries as well. But before that, I wanted to have a strong, base so that I'm going in very detail in the basic aspects. Maybe from here you can incorporate other concepts and move further. Okay, because your base is strong now. I believe your base is strong now. You can move from here and.
Hello. Hello. Sorry to interrupt, Mazam bhai. I'm leaving now. How long are you going to take the class now?
Just more 15 minutes should be sufficient. 15 to 20 minutes.
So, what's the organizer now?
Okay.
Yes, you are the organizer. You can end the recording as well
Okay.
as close the meeting as well. Okay, fine. Thank you so much.
Thank you so much, Mahendra. Thank you so much. Appreciate your help. Okay. So now sorting and filtering data. We wrote somewhere. Okay.
Down, sorting down. Yes, yes.
Sorting already we did.
Cursor. Yes.
I did not write. Okay. So let me write filtering now. Filtering on data of restricting database to show limited or specific records. This is beautiful. Now see, there are so many employees. But I want to see only those employees that belongs to say department number 10. That belongs to department number 10. What is the syntax now? Modify syntax. Select followed by asterisk or all columns. What specific columns? From followed by table name. Order by followed by column or column name. Just remember. Now order by should be the last clause. I already told you. Now I want to incorporate where clause followed by condition or multiple conditions. Now how can I see that? Okay, to see only department number 10 employees. How to see only department 10 employees? Query is select say star or whatever you want from table name is employee. Now write the where clause. In the where clause, you'll write two things. What are those things? Column or expression and the operator value. These are the things that you write in the condition. These are the things that you write. Now, in which column can I get department number values? I will write department number. For which department I want to see only department number 10. So I can simply write column or expression I'm using department number, operator I'm using equal to, and the value I'm using 10. So I want to see only those employees who belong to department number 10. Let me see. Let me sort order by Sam ascending. Okay. So by using where clause, I can filter the data or restrict the database to show me limited data. Okay, select employee name, employee number, e-name, sal, job. Because I'm using department number, use department number also column where department number is equals to 10 order by sal ascending. Here I'm not using department number intentionally. So see, these are the three employees working in department 10. It is better to include that column on which you are applying filter to ensure that you are retrieving the appropriate data. Now input department number so that you'll come to know. Yep, we are sure that these are the employees who belong to department number 10. Okay. Now I want to see the employees who belong to department number 20. Go and update. Okay, these are the 5 employees. In department 10, there were 3 employees. In department 20, there are 5 employees. 2 are clerks, 1 is manager, 2 are analysts. In department 10, 1 clerk, 1 manager, 1 person. In every department, you can see 1 manager at least. Similarly, I want to see department 30 employees. Okay, so there are 6 employees. 6 plus 5 is 11, 11 plus 3 is 14. What about department 40? We have department 40 in the department table, but there is no such employee who are working in department 40 as of now. So if I write 40, your query is perfect, but there are no employees to show. So it will throw a message, no rows selected. No rows selected. Either the value that you give does not exist or there are no such records. Now 40 does not exist actually. This is the case, that's why you're selecting. Whenever you are writing a where clause with numbers, simply give numbers. Okay, numbers can be entered. Character or date data should be enclosed in single quotes. For example, I want to see employees who are working as managers. Employees who are working as managers. To see only managers data. As there are very less questions, I assume everyone is understanding. Select star from EMP, where now managers is a designation. Managers is a designation that is there in the job column. So I will write column name as job. I'll use operator equal to what is the value manager. Manager. Okay. Order by say salary. No problem. If you want, mention ascending. If not, no. But there is a problem with this keyword. There are two mistakes that I did. First is I told character or date data should be enclosed in single quote. So I'm not enclosing it in single quote. So let's do that error intentionally and see what we are getting. The where clause, I like where. In the job column, I have manager. Manager. There are two mistakes that I did. First thing is I did not enclose it in single quote. See, invalid identifier, it is saying invalid identifier. Okay, let me enclose it in single quotes. What am I expecting now? It will go and it will check in the data in the employee table. In the employee table, wherever it finds this value, it will retrieve the data. There is no such value. There is no such value with the word manager in small letters. No rows selected. But I know I saw that there are few managers right in every department. But why it is not showing? Because Oracle is case sensitive. You have to write as it is. If the values are stored in uppercase, you have to write it in uppercase only. Then only you'll come to know. Now see, there are three managers in each department: 10, 20, and 30. Clark, Blake, and Jules are working as managers. These are the salaries based on the ascending order of the salaries. You are getting it. So you can make use of where clause, and you can actually see how data you get it. There is an operator precedence also. Multiplication and division is always given priority over addition and subtraction. Okay, multiplication and division always gets priority over addition and subtraction. For example, select sal. First, I want to give 500. Okay. I want to give 500 as bonus, then see the annual salary. Then see the annual salary. If the salary is 800, if the salary is 800 plus 500 is the bonus into 12 is like 15,600. 15,600 is what we are expecting. But then there is an operator precedence. First, multiplication is given priority, not addition. So what it will do, 12 into 500 will be multiplied, then salary will be added. Go and execute this. We expected something different, right? We expected 15,600, but then we got 6,800. Why? First, 12 was multiplied with 500, then it got added with the actual salary. The actual salary is 800, 6,800. This is the number that you got because of the priority of multiplication. Similarly with division also, they will be prioritized before addition. But your case is different. You want to have first addition, then multiplication. So it says Parentheses are used for prioritized evaluation. Prioritized evaluation. That means you can go here and give parentheses to give priority. Now we were expecting 15,000 change. So now you will get it. First preference will be given to parentheses over multiplication. So addition will be performed. Then this is how you get it. So whatever you think that is mandatory, just keep that stuff in parentheses and then perform accordingly. Okay. So we have seen arithmetic operators. There are more arithmetic operators. There are more operators. Sorry. Comparison operators. We have seen equal to. It is used to compare one value. We can use less than, we can use greater than, we can use less than, equal to, we can use greater than, equal to, we can use not equal to by this, or you can say by angle brackets. For example, I want to see the employees. Here we have incorporated equal to, right? Arithmetic operator. Select this from employee where sal is okay. Now see, I want to see the employee details. I want to see the employee details who are earning salaries, equal to 800. I can simply write where sal equal to 800, right? There's only one employee who's earning 800. I want to see who are the employees who are earning salary as 3,000. There are two employees, Mr. Ford and Mr. Scott. They are earning salary as 3,000. Okay, they are working as analysts and they belong to department 20. They are earning 3,000. If I want to know who are the employees who are earning salaries about 2,000, so simply I'll write sal followed by greater than operator. First is the column, then operator, then value. There's only one employee who is earning about 3,000. Mr. King, he's earning 5,000. But there are two employees who are earning 3,000. So I did not mention equal to 3. I mentioned above 3,000. So if I want to include 3,000 as well, then I'll write greater than or equal to 3,000. Here is the detail. So these are the employees who are earning 3,000 or above 3,000. If I say who are the employees who are earning 3,000 less than or equal to 3,000, again you will see the detail. So there are 13 employees who are earning 3,000 or less than 3,000. Only one employee, Mr. King, is exempted here. Okay, so this is how you work. If I say salary not equal to 3,000, so out of 14, 2 employees will be excluded. We'll get 12 employees. Will not get the salary equal to 13. So this is how you incorporate comparison operators in the where clause to check specific details. These are the comparison operators. What if I have multiple operators? There are other comparison operators. I think I'll have to take one more session in the coming week. What I can do is I can start from early, like from 10:30, and I can cover up to say 1 or 1:30. Maybe I can give you more details. I think what we are learning is okay. We are learning and we are understanding. But if I go fast and if I skip the concept, then you will not learn. You will not learn. Maybe I'll have to take one more session continuous to this. So I would request you, if you want to continue this session for one more week, just send an email to or just mention from where you got it, and yeah, mention and that you want one more session, and you'll see that. There are other comparison operators. There are other comparison operators like in and like. Okay, in and like other comparison operators between and. These are other comparison operators. When you have a list of values, when you have, yeah, we need one more session. when you have list of values, it's better to enclose it in operator. For example, now see, I want to list down multiple values. Is sal equal to 3000 or 5000? Now you cannot separate the values in the where clause by comma. If you write, you will get an error. If you write, you will get an error. SQL command not properly ended. When you have list of values, then instead of using the comparison equal to, use in operator and separate the values and keep them in the bracket. By using in operator, in this particular column, it will check for these list of values. Wherever it finds those values, it will give. So it check with 3000 and 5000. See, if I want to include say 800 and 1250, it will check what all values it have. 7000, what all it has, it will show. What it doesn't find, it won't show. So it found 1250, no, it doesn't find 1250. It found 800, it found 5000, 3000, what all it found, the relevant values, it has listed down. Sure, I will share all those files. I will share with Mohammed and he will share with all of you. I hope everyone has listed their email IDs, so they'll get it. No problem, they'll get it. In case you don't get it, send me an email. Maybe I'll try to resend it. Just wait for end of day today. If you don't find, just send an email on my email ID. I'll ask Wahid to send. My email ID is awesome.ocp@gmail.com. This is my email ID. Okay. In case if you don't find, just send me an email. Okay. Test email. Mention that SQL webinar. Okay. Mention this. Oracle SQL webinar by CGC. Just mention in the. Please send me the documents related to Oracle SQL webinar by CGC on my email ID. I'll see if Wahid did not get or missed any of you. I'll try to include it. Okay. So when to use in operator? When we have list of values for a specific column. Now we had specific values for like salary. I want to know specific designations. Specific designations. Specific designation. So designation is there in job column. Job in. Now, as we have been mentioning that character values and date values should be enclosed in single quotes. So mention like this, like analyst, okay, manager. It values are case sensitive. Values are case sensitive. So if you put the values in the appropriate format, okay, these values are in uppercase and enclosed properly, you'll get it. The details of managers and analysts. Okay, this is how it works. Okay, now I want to see a range of values. Salaries between say 1000 and 3000. I can make use of between and operator. I can make use of between followed by lower range and followed by upper range. Okay, between low range and high range. This is the meaning. So what I can write, where sal between, sal is the column which stores salaries between say 1000 and 3000. Now remember, this between is inclusive. That means it includes lower range and upper range as well. Lower range and upper range as well. Okay, so it includes lower range and upper range as well. Better to sort it with order by salary, so that we'll come to know what all values we have included. Okay, values between 1000 and 3000. What all values it found, it is there. So you can use in operator in the where clause to list, find list of values, whether it's whether dates or characters or number data, or you can use between and operator to get range of values. There is another operator, like operator. Like operator, it uses percentile and it uses underscore. Like operator searches one or more character, one character specific position. Okay. Now, for example, I want to know there is an employee whose name starts with S. There is an employee. Sorry, there is an employee. Employee name has S. How can I write? I will write where clause. In the where clause, where employee name is there in ename column. With ename, like in the single quotes, mention like this. These are case sensitive. Okay. So it will search wherever you find S. Okay, percentile indicates searches one or more character. Before this S, any characters are there, it will consider one or more. After this S, if there are any characters, it will search, right? Where ename, like in the single quotes, mention percentile S, percentile. Wherever it finds, it will show. So there are actually 5 employees who has S, starting with S, ending with S. These are ending with S. This is starting with. Wherever it finds S, it is showing. If I say that, only show me starting with S, then I will write where ename, like. Now S is the first character. S is the first character, so I'm putting S followed by percentile. If it finds one or more characters after S, it will simply search. Okay. S is the first character. Okay. Followed by any number of characters. There are 2 employees whose name is starting with S. If I say ending with S, here starting with any characters, last character should be S. This is the meaning. Last character should be S. Starting can be anything. Last should be S. James, Adams, and Jones are the 3 employees who are having names ending with S. If I say that position, with position, second letter should be A. Second letter should be A. If I write like this, A. Now, this percentile resembles one or more characters. So if it finds one character or more characters, simply it will incorporate. Our task is not fulfilled. Okay, James is A is in second position. What about Adam? It is in first position. What? Okay, Martin. Okay, Alan. See, it is in first position. Now our job did not get fulfilled. So what I will say, instead of using percentile, I will use underscore. Underscore is used for one character, and that's for specific position. The first position, it can be anything. It can be anything, but only one character. Second character is A. This is the meaning. There are 3 employees whose name has A in the second position. Whose name has A in the second position. Ending with S. I'll write the where clause, where name, like, ending with S. Okay. Second character as A. I will make use of underscore. Where name, like. Mozilla, is there an interface that can be written as where we ask these questions in an Excel sheet and the data is output into the same worksheet? See, here I'm using SQL Plus as an editor, so whatever data I'm getting here. Okay, if you use third-party tools like Toad is another third-party tool. If you write queries in Toad, or if you write in SQL Developer, there is one more tool. If you write queries there, they are user-friendly. You can see the data in Excel. You can see the data in Excel. The ename, first character is underscore, then a, then followed by any number of characters. This is how you make use of like operator. Okay. There are two more operators. We say logical. And on. I will wind up here. Okay, just give me 5 minutes. I know you all are getting tired, but then believe me, in one day we will not learn. But what I wanted to show you is an overview of how things work. But then I'm digging in, and it is taking more time. And checks one or more condition. If all conditions are true, then only it gives result. Whereas or, same stuff with or, but there is a simple difference. Checks one or more conditions if at least one condition is true. At least one condition is true, then it gives results. Okay, and ensure that if you have more conditions, then if you have all conditions as true, then it will give the result. Or ensures if you have at least one condition true, then what does it mean? One condition, more condition. See, question is get the details of the employees working as manager and belongs to department number, department 10. Now these are two different conditions. First condition is based on designation, that is job. Second condition is based on department number. So how can I write in the SQL prompt? I will simply write select star from emp, where first condition is based on job equal to manager. So what is the second condition? Second condition is department number is equals to 10. But these are two conditions. How can I segregate these two conditions? See the question. Get the details of the employees working as manager, and here is the note, and belongs to department 10. So here we will have to incorporate and. Simply say and. What your and does, I'm using this double dash to actually comment. So now your query will be executed this condition without this condition. Okay, there are the 14 employees. Okay, few are working as clerk, salesman, and manager. Few are working in department 10, 20, and all that. Okay, see what I want is I have multiple conditions. First condition is the employee should be working as manager. It will come and it will check here. Is it working as manager? No, because I mentioned and as a condition. It will ensure that if all conditions are true, then only it will retrieve the data. Out of these two conditions, what is the condition where job is equals to manager and department number is equals to 10. Job equal to manager and department number equal to 10. See, these are the two conditions. When I say and, it ensures all conditions are met. If all conditions are met, then only it will give the result. Now see here, First condition itself, it is not manager. It won't go and won't check the next condition. Simply this row will be discarded. It will come here and it will check. Is it manager? No. Discard. No, 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 no. Here, oh yeah. This employee, Mr. Clark, is working as manager. Now go and check the second condition. EC belong to department 10. Perfect. This is the right row, 7782. Now again, rest of the conditions check. Is it manager? Perfect. Go here and check. No, this doesn't belong to 10. This employee is working as manager but doesn't belong to 10. So there is only one employee, Mr. Clark, who is working as manager and belongs to department 10. Okay. So now if I go and execute, there's only one manager working as manager and belongs to 10. If I say get me the details of the employees working as analyst and list and work in department 10. No row selected. That means there is no employee who's working in department 10 as analyst. There is no employee. Go and check in 20, department 20. If there is an employee working as analyst in 20, perfect. There are two employees working in department 20 with the designation as analyst. Okay. I want to see managers who are earning about 2000. Job equal to manager and salaries about 2000. Salary is there in sal column about 2000. See, there are three managers who are earning more than 2000. If I restrict managers earning above 2500, there are only two employees working as managers and earning about 2000. There was one manager who was earning 2450 because of the condition, and it ensures that both conditions are met. It ensures that both conditions are met. What we saw in and checks one or more conditions. If all conditions are true, then only it gives result. What is the case with or? Checks one or more condition. If at least one condition is true, then it gives result. That means if I change my condition here, sorry, replace with or. Now it will go and check with the first condition. If the job is manager, wherever it find manager, it will retrieve. So we know that there are three managers. Simply, it will retrieve all the three managers. Now it will go for other records. Wherever it doesn't find manager, it will go and check in the salary column. If the salary is about 2500, it will simply retrieve the salaries. There are three employees, Scott and I forgot the name. There are two employees who are working as analysts. They are earning 3000, even though they are working as analysts. Because we mentioned add, it will check if one condition is true, simply retrieve. So based on the managers, there will be few employees who will be retrieved. Based on the salaries, there will be few employees whose record will be retrieved. Now see, these three got retrieved based on the designation. Rest of the three got retrieved based on the salary. So that means your and, whenever you use and, it will ensure that all conditions are met for a particular row. In one row, if all conditions are met, then only that row will be this retrieved. Okay. If any condition out of say 2 or 3 conditions, any condition fails, you will not find that row. Whereas or, it will check at least one condition is true, it will simply retrieve the data. If like none conditions are true, it won't show any data. So I think we have covered, few things only. I intended to do a lot of other things, but it took more in giving you theoretical knowledge and all that. So I thought of covering until single row function. But what I will do is I will ask Wahid and other team members to have one more session. Okay. So we will have subsequent follow-up session on coming Sunday, and we will conclude with functions, single row functions, and group functions, and other topics, and then we'll try to incorporate PL SQL concepts as well. Let's see how best I can help you out. So if you have any questions in what all we learn, just ping me in the message box. If you keep on asking questions, it would be like a lot of disturbance. I'll wait for 5 minutes, and then let's see. Looking forward for your next meeting invite. Could you also show joins? Yeah, joins I can show you. Good question. Joins I can show you here. It doesn't require anything. Good question. It will take only 5 minutes. So, spool is a command to copy all the queries and along with the result in one particular file. Spool is a command specific with SQL Plus. A friend has asked me join to retrieve data from multiple tables. We use joins. Okay, sure. Send your email ID. I'll try to, I'll share with Vahid. He will share everything. If you don't get it by end of day, so just send an email in the night or tomorrow morning. I'll try to send it individually if you don't get it. A join is a concept to retrieve data from multiple tables. You'll see data from multiple tables. There are 5 types of joins. It will take some time, but I'll wrap up very quickly. Partition project. Without join condition. If we join with a condition on same column from 2 tables. First, I'll show partition product. Okay. See, I want to see in department. I have department number, department name, and location. In employee, I have all the columns along with department number. So department number is the common column between these 2 tables. So what I want is select. If I'm writing, I want to see multiple columns. Select table name dot column name notation. Table name dot column name notation will be EMP. From EMP table I want employee number. From EMP table I want E name. From DEPT table I want the name. From EMP comma DEPT. Okay, I'm selecting 3 columns: employee number from employee table, E name from employee table, and D name from department table. From which tables? I'm separating 2 tables with a comma. Because I did not mention any specific condition how to join, which are the common columns in both tables, and all that. I did not mention. So it will be a Cartesian product. What is Cartesian product? Without join condition. What it does, number of rows from table 1 multiplied with number of rows from table 2. That means if employee table has 14 records and department table has 4 records, 14 into 4 will be like 56. So I can expect 56 records. If I omit join condition. Simply I'm selecting columns from specific tables. 56 rows. All 14 rows will be first multiplied with accounting, then sales, then operations, then the research, if you have research as a column. So there are like 56 records because we omit the join condition. Here we are getting. If I mention a join condition, how can I mention the join condition? I'm just telling you. Maybe in the subsequent question session, we will talk about joins and subqueries in detail. I'm saying that employee tables department number should be equal to departments tables department number. Okay, there are common columns, the department number in employee and department. join this. Wherever you find department 10, join with that. So wherever it find department 10, join these two, and associate records should be retrieved accordingly. That is the meaning. That is the meaning. Now, SQL command not properly. From, okay, we have to write it in the where condition. This is how you retrieve data from multiple tables. So I will end the session here, and I will ask Wahid to and my CGC team to permit me for one more session. If they permit, then we will have in the next Sunday if they have already planned. So just wait for session number 2. Okay, wait for session number 2. I hope you all have enjoyed this session. I appreciate you all. Spend taking out your time on this busy day and coming out, because teaching and training is my passion, and we belongs to we all from CGC, Career Guidance Council. Our aim is to have the job seekers, have the freshers in understanding the various technologies that are there in the market. Maybe you are not aware of SQL. Now you have got some spark. Okay, you can learn it. And you can actually do something in SQL. Now you can go and check how you can go. I'll try to incorporate that slide, which actually captures the screenshot of how you can search, for Oracle software, and how you can do that. As I told you, this school, I use SQL Plus as the environment because I wanted to share with you all the queries that I type along with the data, along with the result. Otherwise, there is another tool. Called SQL Developer. I have a shortcut over here. This is SQL Developer. Okay. See. So you'll have to install SQL Developer, this tool separately. This is a GUI based tool. Okay. Oracle SQL Developer. This is GUI. You can see the results then and there, and you can copy the results in Excel, and you can do a lot of other things. This is more helpful, but because I wanted to share with you along with the results and everything, that's why I choose SQL Plus as an environment. But SQL Developer or SQL Developer it is robust, and it gives a lot of other features. Similarly, there are other tools in the market, that is TOAD. People use TOAD or SQL Developer because these are the good GUI tools. As I told you, we need to have proper credentials to log in. I logged in with Smart User, and I have shown you with HR user as well. It will also ask me to log in with a specific user. If I press this plus symbol, it will ask for, waiting for it to initialize. Yeah, the more you practice, the more you learn. Believe me. I'm just giving this name as, say, just for understanding, whatever I want. A username, the username as Scott. The password I type is Tiger. Let me type it again. The SID is the actual SID. I have ORCL as the SID for me. Okay, this is a global password as well. Just let me test. It will show the status. If it's success, then we can work here. Perfect. Now I can go and connect. Again, give the password as Tiger. Connect here. It will open a different window. You're connected now. See, if I type here, select staff from tab, okay, type semicolon, select this entire query and run. Click on this run button. It will run and show the results below this tab. It will show all the tables that you have access to and views. So these are the tables: ENP, TEPP, all that. If you say describe TEP, EPT. Select that entire stuff, press F9, it will run. Press F9 or simply go and click here. It is showing department number, name, these are the columns, and these are the data type. Similarly, what all you want. Select staff from ENP. Press semicolon, not here, come here. Press semicolon and select this entire and see. You'll see the results. In SQL Plus, the page size was limited, but not here. These are the employee numbers, these are the name. You can actually export and you can actually copy it in Excel and do whatever you want. Okay, so you can print also this side. The same queries that we saw, same everything, because we are connected with the Scott user. We are connected with the Scott user. You can see user is Scott. Okay, so we have covered, I can say only 30% or 40%, but this will be the base for you. This will be the base for you. In the previous session also, Shoaib sir told us like you can visit W3 schools. You can visit W3 schools and see the syntaxes and everything, and that will act as resource for you. W3schools.com. You can learn a lot of things in the W3 schools. So give me time. Can I say specific column from database and it will highlight all table with that column? No. If you're searching for a specific column in the database, search in the specific table. Your from table should be that table which actually gives you the column. Okay. If you're selecting department number, give the table, right, from which table you want to select. From employee, then give employee. From okay, it will show you from the employee, all the employees belonging to that department. There are so many employees belonging to different departments showing. If you type the same stuff from DEPT, from different table, then type like this, it will show you from the department table only, unique, without repetition. First thing is you should know, sir, in which table that column is. If you don't know the table name, then you will have to ask your team lead. Okay, many times we get to ask a question like get the details of customers, like customer information and all that. But when you don't know in which table it belongs, the easiest way is go and ask the team lead or the manager who are aware of this. If they are from business, if they don't know anything about database, then write an email to the IT team. First, get an approval from your manager. Say that I want to retrieve, for example, basic account number of employees. As per the request from so and so department, they need account number, basic account number, but I don't know in which table it has the basic account number, or I don't know the column name. Here you are seeing very simple column names: EMP, NO, DEPT, NO, SAS. These are the very common names. But when you work in real time, the column names will be very different. Like segment 55, you don't know what the segment 55 holds. FJ126, you don't know what FJ126. KL153, you don't know what KL153 is. So you will either have to have a data dictionary of your database, the company you are working for. If you know, you will understand and you will get it. If you don't, then check with your manager. He will align you with the IT team. You can have a meeting. You can discuss with, like, these are the frequently used tables, and he will let you know all that stuff. So I appreciate all, and actually we support PHP to search column from many table. See, Paresh, I can understand you very, but as I told you, when you don't know in which table it has, either you'll have to have like all tables, search one after the other, or go and check with your manager. Now see, here in SQL Developer, I'm here. Now see here, there are few tables. The easiest way is to go and check here. For example, department number. In bonus, click here and see B. No, there's no department number. Okay. Go and see in C department. Okay, there's a department number in C department table. Go in other tables. Oh, there's a department number. So by this you can see. Otherwise, the easiest way is to will there be a session on networking? I don't know about networking, but yes, we do have sessions. See, you have CGC helpline numbers, you have CGC WhatsApp number. Send your queries and ask them for a respective session. Sir, we are interested in networking. We want to have networking sessions. We will align, we'll check with our networking professionals, and if they are available, maybe in subsequent week, then we will try to, have them aligned. So it's almost 3 hours now. So let me conclude the session. I appreciate everyone. So let me stop the recording. There are so many data types. The basic data type that we use is like number, varchar2, and date. There are other data types as well. Easiest ways to ask Google. Okay, easiest ways to ask Google. Okay, data type in Oracle. As Oracle. Simply type, you will get to know everything. Okay, see, these are the data types: number, date, binary, blob, clob. Okay, character, large object. LOB is for large object. When you are storing detail, address, and all that, or photos, or images, or barcodes, so you'll use blob or clob. So these are the various capitals. So if you have any question, go and ask in Google. You'll come to know. You'll come to know. So don't get panicked. Don't get puzzled. So you'll get a lot of help. Even the errors that we are getting, you can type those errors and try to understand in detail. Okay. So I appreciate you all, and let me end the session. I'm stopping the recording, and hopefully we'll have one more session. Just you have, everyone has the CGC helpline number, so mention that you would like to have one more session on the same topic. So we will see if I get the next slot on next week. We will have next week itself, or whenever I have, we will have one more subsequent session on this one. Thank you so much, and have a great day. Sure. We'll have more sessions. See, we are here to help you out. We are here to help you out. And if you come up with questions, we will definitely help you out with the things that you people are looking out for. So, you will see this, you'll receive a link on this recorded session as well. Okay, you'll receive it. Thank you all. I'm ending the session now.